Okay, welcome ladies and gentlemen to our coverage of the Australian Open Multi-Disability Men's Singles Final from Broadbeach Bowls Club. This live stream is brought to you by Coast-Tweed media team on behalf of Bowls Australia. The Australian Open is supported by Experience Gold Coast and the Queensland Government through Tourism and Events Queensland. My name is Adam Taylor and I'd like to welcome Andrew Reid.
Adam, good afternoon.
Still morning, mate?
Still morning.
Still morning. And we've got a great game here between Damien Delgado from Tweed Heads Bowls Club and David Minns from the East Launceston Bowling Club in Tasmania. And Andrew, you know both these guys pretty well?
I know Damien pretty well. I've known David for a little while, but he tells me that the East Launceston Club is got it on live stream down there, so I'd expect them to have a beer for David sitting on the counter.
Absolutely.
They've had their roll up and we're into the first end.
So we've got first to 21 shots up, as they say. David Minns has the mat.
David is using Aero Evolves. Damien is using the XGs. I asked him if they were a Collingwood thing because they're black and white, and he was quick to tell me that no, it's not because he's a Collingwood supporter.
No, he's got the new Henselite XG, Dreamline XG Orcas, which is the first time I see them rolling down the green here.
So we see David's first bowl is probably 5 feet short, a little bit narrow, but he won't be like that for long, I can assure you.
Got his hands full today. Damien, a very well respected member of the Jackaroos Para Bowls squad.
Yep, coming back very nicely to the tee.
David, in fact, won this event 2 years ago, the 2022 Australian Open, and he actually defeated Damien in the semi-final that year, so we're in for a pretty good match.
I would expect it to be a very high standard game of bowls. Having played against both of these guys, they can be very consistent and very ruthless. Neither one of them are afraid to have a go. Damien, of course, is the current 14-point pairs champion, along with Jimmy Reynolds. That's for the para classifications. You've got B5 through to B8. So for those who don't know, a B5 would be someone in a wheelchair who cannot reach or bowl a full end. And you'd have a B6 who could be ambulatory or in a wheelchair but with balance issues. B7 is where you'll see a lot of the wheelchair players, even though they might have balance issues, they're pretty stable in a wheelchair. And B8s might be someone who has a defined disability but are not quite showing any symptoms yet. So the 14-point pairs might be two B7s, which is what Jimmy and Damien were. Picked up that last year in the 2023 World Bowl. So very high standard players.
Yes, Damien, very well known on the Gold Coast here, plays Premier League and Grade 1 pennants for Tweed Heads Bowls Club.
I'm not sure I like these new Orcas, watching them on the screen.
They look a bit too Collingwood for me.
Yeah.
Beautiful line on this, though.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah.
Very good draw bowler as Damien. He has a very confident and well-aimed upshot as well.
Yeah, I've have played against Damien on a number of occasions in fours, in pennants and Premier League, and he's one of the top leads on the Gold Coast, that's for sure.
David coming down now. He's got a very good line for his bowl, just to use his bowl to try to come in on Damien's. Just pushing that back.
Oh, not what he wanted.
No.
So Damien sitting 2 at this stage with 1 to come.
Big opportunity to start off with a 3. bit unfortunate there for David. He definitely played the right weight to make that shot. I think it's a bit early to play it. But then again, if you are going to go down 3, you'd want it to be early rather than late.
Got this out nice and wide. Just needs to stay on the green now, and it'll have 3 to start the match.
Yeah, nothing fancy. Doesn't need to roll a... Well, he doesn't need to be that clever.
Very good bowl.
Just needed to pass his own. So, be 3 shots opening for Damien.
I imagine those from Tweed Heads Bowls Club that can't be here on site will be having the live stream on at the club.
I would certainly expect they would.
And Andrew, I do believe you ran into David Minns a couple of times in this tournament.
Unfortunately, well, fortunately and unfortunately, yes. I played David in the sectional and managed to get over the top 21-18, and then we met again in the quarterfinals, and he paid me back quite handsomely, so he made it through and I didn't. But I won't show bias and barrack for Damien here. I'll be barracking for bowls.
It can happen a bit. No, about 5 years ago, our fours team was in the same section as Aaron Sheriff's team. We managed to sneak through. We lost to them in that sectional play, but managed to sneak through as a lucky loser, coming second in our group, and drew them first up.
Yeah,
and copped them again.
Yeah. Well, I was lucky to have 2 games in the knockouts that I won before getting to David.
Great opener from Damien.
Fantastic bowl there from Damien. What I did notice in playing David is that he's not afraid to change his hand or change his shot. He's not afraid to be that little bit aggressive like we see there with that first shot, trying to use that bowl to sit on. Yeah, just controlled weight, not to lose the bowl. Both of these gentlemen are thinkers on the mat. They will look at strategy and try to think of what each other will play. A very good bowl here from Damien. It's coming home nicely now.
Absolute beauty. You can see why he's very well regarded in open bowls as well. He's a very hard competitor to beat.
Look, he is. If you let him get away, you're going to be chasing all day. It's much easier to be in front with Damien and then let him chase you. Although, having had that experience, I've lost that one as well. So David correcting his weight a little bit here. Just
very good effort.
Yeah, it's in there for second shot.
Yeah, could well be. Yes, marker's indicating 1 and a measure.
Damien just asking if the bowls are shorter, Jack, or past. I think he'll come down on his forehand. Just look to sit those bowls. Ideally, I'd like to sit between his and David. Just going around behind, but still in a very good finishing position.
Yes. Very good spot there. We might see a little more weight this time from David.
David does have the very back, but even if he manages to get that one out, he's probably going to be down on the tee if he moves the kitty out. Just misses to the outside.
Did you do much driving in your matches, Andrew?
I try not to, but I do. I prefer controlled weight. I don't like to lose the bowl.
Yep.
If you can leave the bowl on deck, it's always useful.
Absolutely.
prior to having a spinal cord injury and a stroke, I had a very big drive, and now I just have a very nice upshot. This is a great bowl by Damien. Fantastic bowl. That has likely given him 3. We'll see if David's going to have a look or if he's just going to play with weight.
Has a little bit of space to draw now. Does have the best back bowl.
It's going on his forehand, so I think if you're looking for the kiddie or to come inside onto Damien's front bowl.
He's driving, but he's pulled it.
Yeah, he's pulled that one. He's definitely looking for the kiddie or the bowl on that one. So that could be another 2 or maybe 3 to Damien. I've removed the 2. David's having a look. Indicating 3. Yes.
Yep. So
I think Damien would have argued with him on that one.
Damien shot out to a 6-0 lead. Perfect, nearly the perfect start for Damien.
Yeah, look, 2 years ago, in the last 2 years, the improvements, even if you can say to make improvements from from a semi-final or from even world bowls, but this last 1 to 2 years, Damien has been so consistent. A lot of parabowlers use him as an inspiration.
Yes.
And they look to him for advice, and
very well respected.
They look at the opportunities that he's been given, and they look for the same. So he's down well on another very good line here.
But it hasn't taken him long to find his length and line.
No, not at all.
Wow.
And from being next to him on the green through our knockout sections in the singles, I can tell you he was like that.
Yes.
Every time.
Yep.
David's on a good line for his bowl. The weight's not too bad either.
Yeah, important for David here to get in a groove on his draw and try and win the next end or two.
Damien won't be afraid of that. He'll just look to draw the kiddie off the line back to his own bowl. If he can tuck that kiddie and hide it behind David's, he will. So a very good line for it. Just going under David's.
Yeah, great effort. Yes.
So see David change his hand this time.
Yeah. Has an opportunity there to rest on Damien's bowl.
Very, very nice line. Very good switch. It just shows you the class of a player. If you put down a very good bowl on one hand, then you can repeat it doing the other hand. It's not an easy thing to do.
No, he's done a pretty good job of it. Damien will just try and get a bit more grass on this one. For those that were here for the first game we broadcast this morning, the women's over 60 pairs final, you'd be well aware that the green is running very quickly. It'd be up towards 17 seconds now.
What a fantastic bowl. What a fantastic correction.
Wow.
It's not an easy shot, that one, but he's made it look so easy. And that back bowl of Damien's is not out of play just yet.
Still on the draw.
It's coming home now. It's got a good speed on this.
This is a pretty good effort. Look at this.
Well,
What a bowl. What a draw ball from David Minns.
it's a very high standard. We'll see Damien will go back. He doesn't need to do anything drastic here. He just needs to draw under David's bowl to push that kitty over to his own. Look at the replay. Beautiful bowl by David Minns.
Damien can run into the front blue there of David's to knock his second shot into David's shot bowl.
He can certainly, with the right weight on the backhand, he could certainly sit for two. He's got options on either hand, but we'll wait and see which way he lines up. Looks like he's going for the forehand, just to try to push David Minns' bowl, or Damien's backhand, my forehand.
Yeah, just playing a little bit of weight. Looks to be pretty close to target.
Might just be running a little underneath, but that was a mighty weight to move that kitty across.
Yeah, good effort there. Now, does David try and draw on the backhand and maybe try and drag it back for three?
Well, honestly, I think that's the only shot he's got to play. That or just a dead draw.
He can't play the forehand,
No,
give it away.
No, too dangerous. You don't want to be 6-0 down and give it away on a silly shot. So you can see David just play something nice and safe here. He's certainly capable of doing it. He did it to me enough times, so...
You've seen it firsthand?
Well, seen it and suffered it. Yeah, another good line here. I think we'll be saying that all day long. These boys are not far off of their targets.
Just doesn't want to touch that front one too hard.
Oh.
Good effort.
I'll tell you, he was on track to make a 3 out of that, so it was a very good execution.
So he's on the board. 1 to David Minns, 6-1.
And this is, as most of the bowling viewers will know, there's nothing worse than having 2 or 3 bowls within a foot or two of the kitty and still going down.
Okay, David pushed the mat fairway up and putting the jack on the tee.
Yeah, it's probably halfway up on that side, so ITO's just checking the score. Okay, David's to start off. I would expect him to go on his forehand. He's very, very good with his forehand opening draws.
Nice grass once again. Pretty good opener.
Yes,
Just
very good. Jack
coming
high.
under. Beautiful weight.
Both of these guys are able to play either hand, but I did notice playing David that when he got the mat, he was very, very consistent with his opening draw bowl on the forehand. Could play just as well switching to the backhand, but Damien also sticking to that side. That side of the green does have a little bit more draw.
Another great opener from Damien Delgado. Brilliant.
And stays with it. What a fantastic opening
The
bowl.
quality's there already, Andrew.
It is. And look, when you get to this sort of stage and you're playing people of this calibre, you start off with a fantastic bowl and they take it off and you think, well, what do I got to do? David, just be looking to roll this bowl out. Just arriving with full draw, maybe a foot of weight. Again, don't want to lose the bowl.
Maybe a tad heavy for that line, but it's going to finish in a great home.
Well, yeah. It was a good weight to move the bowl. It's just a bit wide. And we're only surmising what we think that they're doing, but it's what we would have done, I think. Damien now would probably be trying to close down that opportunity for David just by sitting in front of the kitty, moving it a little bit.
He's got another good heading here. Gets the bowl away so smoothly.
He does, very much so, and that is a very good bowl. Just push that kitty back. He's still only holding the one, I believe. Oh, David's bowl just fell over.
Yeah, it's just the one. Good angle there from Robbie.
But it is a better head now for Damien. The kitty's not so easily accessible for David, so
at this standard, we might well see the jack moving around a fair bit.
I would say so. It's one of those games where the marker's going to have more than one canvas break.
Yeah. Good effort there from David Minns. Jack high, just a foot wide.
Damien just finding out there, like the distance, the last bowl's jack high has been confirmed, and then the distance from the front and the back bowl. When you're a para bowler, sometimes it's not always easy to get down to the head, so you've got to picture it. I very rarely go down to the head. I ask a lot of questions. So it gives Damien an idea. Just wants to come in, draw underneath his original bowl to his shot bowl, which is exactly what he's done. So 3 bowls, 3 touches.
Well,
Yeah.
He's loving the green. He's loving the bowls. You couldn't have put 3 better ones down.
No, although he has opened it up a little bit for David now, so might see David with that bowl being behind. You might see him come down now and just have a little run at that. He'll be more narrow than wide. He doesn't care if he takes Damien and his own out. He'll still end up with shot. So, yeah. Certainly going to have a little go at it. Wind's starting to pick up a little bit. That'll come into play.
Going quite firm. And hit some traffic up front.
Well, that was unfortunate. I mean, normally when you hit the bowl, they'll go to the side. Not often that they'll spring straight forward. Did for him.
Now, what does Damien do here? Could well be 2 down if his shot does go out.
Yeah, I think given that he's just had 3 really good bowls on that hand, I think he'll stay there. He's got plenty of room. He saw his other bowl come around there, so there wouldn't be any point in changing hands now.
No. He can even run into his one just out the front of the jack.
Yeah, so he's staying with the 3 that he just had, which were all touches, so
You can see the Australian selectors here watching this match.
well, he's pinched that one, but
He's got the one shot.
he's got the shot, so
7-1. Nice solid start from both bowlers, but Damien has the edge with the numbers.
yes, and being a para jackaroo, it's very difficult because with such a high standard of para players in Australia, and in the para competition, they don't take away 10 or 15 in the squad like they do with everyone else. It might only be 2 or 3. So you've got to be having the best purple patch ever to get selected, and you've got to stay in that purple patch.
Yeah, very good point. And the quality we saw yesterday in the pairs in the multi-disability section was phenomenal.
Yes.
And when you consider how well Jimmy bowled yesterday, he was eliminated, I think, before the quarters in the singles.
Yes, exactly. It only takes one loss.
Yep, one loss and you're out.
Another great opener. You can just see David's shirt starting to flap in the breeze. Might make a small difference to the bowl's finish. I don't think it'll do anything else, just the finish, but
Pretty good reply here.
very good reply.
Okay, nothing for short now for Damien. Must be behind.
Yeah, I think we'll see Damien just arrive to that bowl. Yeah, nothing crazy. Just try to move that bowl through and sit.
Pretty close.
Pop the kitty out.
Just ducking under.
Very close to achieving it.
Yep, lovely weight for the shot he's trying.
Inch and a half the gap. The marker's calling.
David too gets the bowl away very smoothly.
Yes, he does. So a very good line here.
Yeah, it's great grass again.
Just the weight. That might actually encourage Damien to go a little bit quicker. 7-1 up. Second bowl. He might decide that this might be a chance to have a little bendy one at it.
Yeah, indeed he is.
And that bowl is right on track for that. It's just going to miss on the outside. Okay, let's see if David will go behind here. Damien just having a look to see how much room there is around that bowl, that front bowl of David's, before it gets to the kitty in the other bowl. See if there is a draw there or if he needs to stay with weight.
David would have loved his last bowl to stayed on the back of the rink.
Very much so.
So Damien has an opportunity here to play a little weight again.
Yeah, I think if I was Damien, I'd be staying with the weighted shot. He wasn't that far off. Now it looks to be changing hands, so he might actually go for the draw now. Just try and make sure he's drawing second. No, it's a very good line for it. Very good speed. What a fantastic shot.
Good effort. Great effort.
Just one now, I'd suggest to David. Yeah.
David's bowl has in fact stayed on the green, so opportunity here to come onto his front one or draw around that and sit on Damien's back bowl.
He could draw onto his front bowl and then spill both in to count. There's room for that.
Lovely grass line once again. Great bowl.
Fantastic draw bowling by David.
Brilliant. That's a good fight back. He's really drawn well since going down to those 2-3s at the start of the match. So 7-3.
Okay, so I'm not seeing too much of a difference in the change of the length that he was before. It's just the movement of the mat really, so
On the forehand once again.
down he's looks to be a little bit narrow. But you do have to say, I think being an Australian selector would be a very easy job at the moment. We've got so many high quality players. You could really be justified for choosing half a dozen for one spot, whether it's disability or open.
That's terrific.
Damien not afraid of that length, David. Ooh. He's running through a little, but he'd be holding shot. David now has thrown it out there a little bit wider. Let that little bit of a breeze help on the finish. Well, just pushed it a little long. Damien sticking with that hand. They're both favouring that hand that's drawing more than the other. So
yeah, a little breeze coming across the green, left of screen to right of screen.
Well, once again, Damien just goes, well, it doesn't matter where you put it, David, I'm going to get there. Well, he's got the same line as his first, but I think he's lost a little bit of the weight, so opportunity here for Damien to put some pressure on. He looks to be holding a couple, but he wouldn't mind just touching that kitty a little.
Nice grass.
Very much so.
Trying to get there.
Just falling a little bit short, but very nice line to move that kitty. So we'll see if he does that with his last. So yeah, if he was to move that kitty, beautiful shot there, Robbie. Move that kitty. He'll be thinking. Well, David's got it out there again, and I think he's just put a little too much on. Let's roll behind Damien's back one, so Damien not asking any questions of the marker, just knows what he wants to do. Wants a little touch of that kitty of about no more than a foot.
Nice and wide.
Certainly going to let it come back.
His weight's better.
What a fantastic bowl.
Yep, brilliant bowl.
Bit sloppy though, Damo. You didn't move it a foot.
No.
Marker looks like she's holding two. No, 3 now. 3 it is. It's another 3 to Damien.
Yeah, it's his third 3 of the match.
10-3 now.
Important for David to win this end, I feel.
Yeah, very much. He needs to change the momentum of the game. He's not yet put more than one end together, and that's generally one of the goals I have when I'm playing singles is you got to back up winning one end. If you've lost a couple in a row, you've got to win one and then win another. Ooh, he is on the narrower hand, but it's got a nice finish.
Yeah, great opener once again. He's putting pressure on David from the outset, each end.
Yeah, you wouldn't mind having him as a lead at any time, would you?
No. Now he plays a lot of bowls with the great Wayne Turley down at Tweed Heads.
What a fantastic coach. I do know that Wayne is his skip when he plays pennants in the Premier League.
Yep. And I know Wayne's very happy to have Damien in his team.
Okay, so just Damien's holding shot here. He doesn't need to do much more to improve. Maybe just finish on the line, hide that jack out of David's eyesight then. Just makes it that little bit more difficult to draw, but...
He's nearly done exactly what you've said, you know. He has touched it.
Yeah. Now, like I said, I've been walloped enough by Damien to know his strategy in play. He does like to put the pressure on, and he does like to let you know that it doesn't matter where the kitty is, he can reach it. Very good response here from David. Gonna get second shot.
He's bowling well, he just hasn't got any answers. Damien's just he's bowling exceptionally.
Yeah, and now he knows now that those bowls are not in his draw line. His last one, it's Mark is indicating his last one's only an inch past the kitty, so he'll be just looking to repeat the same thing. And if there are any disabled bowlers out there, I would suggest that you don't be afraid of what you see here and think that you'd never be able to compete, because you just need to get out and have a go. There's a lot of people that play parabowls now. So the crowd has almost tripled or quadrupled in the past 3 years.
Yeah, that's so good. Very well supported by Bowls Australia and all the state bodies.
Most have got programs now, and there is a pathway program to go through to the Jackaroo level. We do see some Aussie collectors out here. Ellen Faulkner, she's in charge of the parabowls, so every state runs their own program.
Good shot here of Damien. Gets it away smoothly once again.
Look, he's so close to the other bowl shot. Now he's going to sit that.
Smart play.
Yeah, very smart play. He's got a bowl each side of those now, so...
Yeah, the game of chess is just a little defensive bowl there. If you want to move it, David, I'm back there too.
Yeah. And you can see if David clatters into his front one, he's likely to spit that kitty out one way or the other. So if he gets it back and sits for 3, well, good on him for doing it. That's what Damo would be thinking. If you can do it, you can deserve it. It's just looks like it's just setting up to try and draw around those front two to sit the shot bowl. Certainly got the weight for it, but I think he's just pinched his line a
He
little.
has. Yeah, Damien's got all the answers. It's not that David's not playing well. Damien's just got all the answers.
Look, it's just the one is the call. So it's 11-3. I can tell you in the form that Damien in is at the moment, I don't think it'd matter who you are.
Well, having played in a lot of events here on the coast, open events, Damien goes extremely well in the open events as well. He's well respected, and he's certainly an opponent to be feared.
Absolutely, and that's one of the things that, with the coaching of disability players, I always tell them it doesn't matter. Go in every tournament you can. If you get beaten 21-0, you've still learnt something. So everybody starts out not knowing how to play the game. Nobody's born knowing everything, so you got to get out there and learn.
Absolutely.
And it's amazing, even for me, over the last 8-9 years, to watch the progression of Damien. It's fantastic. He's performing very, very well. You do need a club to get behind you and give you the opportunities and take you under the wing.
Yeah.
And the clubs here on the Gold Coast are doing that to people.
Okay, important for David to get a couple of really good draw bowls in here early.
I think Damien's let him in here, so needs to capitalise on it.
That green's really flying now.
It is very fast now, very slick. Those bowls are almost finishing on a 90-degree angle, which makes it very difficult to predict the last metre and a half of the finish.
Yeah, they can often look good with just a couple of metres to go, and then they've got a 4 or 5.
Yes, yeah, exactly. The way these guys are bowling, you could certainly have 3 or 4 bowls within a couple of feet and still go down. As we see Damo fix his line.
He's very good at improving each shot.
Yes, and look, that's even with the score the way it is and the way that Damien's playing, that's not going to scare David. He's a very good bowler in his own right. He'll just be looking just as a normal draw.
Yeah, not bad weight, just a little across the centre line.
Yeah, still plenty of room, so he'll look to improve on that with his next.
Nice grass again.
He's come down, I think he doesn't quite have the weight, but
No. Still moving fast. That's
just
like glass now.
Just proves that he's human and not a machine after all. Are we going to see David change hands now and try and use his own bowl? No, he's going to stick with the open draw. Yeah, I do like this line with the evolve. That will come home from there. But unlucky not to get a little touch on that. Damien just asking for last bowl shot, but I favour Damien. Yes, he's holding one. So Damien away now with his last. Very good line.
Another awesome bowl. Look at how
Well, what a fantastic shot! I mean, you have to see that they're 2 to 3 inches inside that peg marker, and they're
Yeah.
still crossing the line. That shows you how much finish there is on the bowl.
Yeah, it's got to be running 17 seconds now, which is pretty quick. It's about as quick as we get up here on the Gold Coast.
Yes, it is actually.
I know you get to 19s and that down in the southern states, but this is about the best speed we get. Good effort from David, but appears to be 2 for Damien.
Yeah, I'm not sure of the regular speeds that they have down in Tassie. Maybe somebody from the East Lost Club can tell us what the normal speeds are that they run down there. It's 2 to Damo, 13.3. And I will get Launceston right sooner or later.
I believe it's a beautiful sunny 12 degrees down there today.
Well, we're double that at 24, so I don't know whether to say sucked in or whether or not any of that club are involved in the nudie dip for the winter solstice.
You wouldn't be catching me in the nudie dip down there. I love Tassie. Played golf at a number of courses down in Tassie and in the Launceston area and up in the great northeast where some wonderful world-class golf courses have been built.
Damien going just a little bit long there, but beautiful line. I think Damien's realised, well not realised, but you know, I think they both have now that the extra turn that they're getting on that other side is making it a little bit unpredictable how the bowl's going to finish. So coming to this side, which is a bit narrower, is going to give them a little bit more consistent finish.
We're saying it's narrower, but it's still
it's
still wide. You're still looking at the peg at least.
It's forcing Damien to change his hand.
So Pete Williams from Launceston, about 14 or so on a good day.
14 on a good day. Well,
that's a nice speed.
That's pretty comparable to what we have up here. 13 to 15 is about standard. Another good bowl from Damien after a switch. Just a little long, but definitely counting.
David staying on his forehand.
So you'd have to wonder if it's 14 on a good day, is the speed of the green catching him out a little? I mean, he's had some fantastic bowls in the area. Just not quite as pinpoint perfect as Damien. And coming from Tweed heads, the very good greens, he'd be used to these sort of speeds.
Yes, he would have played on this speed quite often. I know he's played a lot of bowls here at Broadbeach. We haven't had rain on the Gold Coast for a fortnight, so the greens have, the only moisture they're really holding is that's put on them by sprinklers or the heavy dew we get at night.
Another great bowl by Damo. Yeah, we did have, I think, a millimetre of rain over Saturday night, but that was only to a few clubs received that.
Yeah, very sparse.
Well, Sunday night, I think it was, because it was at Mermaid on the Monday where we had a little bit of a heavier green after the rain.
You have to have water at Mermaid.
Yeah. Very good attempt there by David. Just a little bit long. So Damien there holding shots. Just going to stick with the draw. You'd have to say this has been the most open end that we've had so far.
Yes.
We've played 8 ends so far. I mean, you and I have been perfect over those 8 ends. The boy's just struggling with this one, but having said that, he's put it out there.
Yeah, it may well be in the count. May well be the shot. Bit of breeze coming from right to left. David sticking to his forehand.
Looks like he's trying to come under his own just on the standard draw. Just missing the weight on that one.
Yeah, just chastising himself a little. Not happy with that one. Did have an opportunity there to draw.
Well, I think that's that. I think this end has been the biggest opportunity he's had over the other ones. Has just missed the opportunity. Calling for a measure.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think it might well be two.
It's very close. I certainly know my very first year of playing pennants up here was at Paradise Point, and I learnt there that very early on you can try to claim more than what's on there, so I'd be asking for a 6 or 7.
Did you achieve it?
No. Looks very close, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, looks like it's 2. We'll wait for the marker. Yes, 2. So that's 15 to 3. So David really needs to put something together here. He's not bowling bad. Probably just needs to make a bit of a change to his game.
Yeah, Damien's playing so well. He's getting at least one of his first 2 bowls, within a foot. So Damien is putting pressure on David from the outset. And David is being in such a position that hasn't been able to settle into a draw game. He's had to play a few weighted shots. And it's very hard to go from one to the other and back again.
Especially on a green at this speed. So as you can see there, he's hardly letting it go at all. It looks like it's just rolling down his arm and out of his hand. Weight's perfect. Just again, that wide side's catching them out.
Yeah. But at that speed, that bowl could still be in the count.
Oh,
at
absolutely.
The end of the end.
Yes. The faster the green is, I find that generally your shots are a little bit further away. David's
just running through a little, but a good opener.
That'll be shot. So Damien sticking with his backhand here. Now he's out over the peg marker for that one. And that's a little bit of virgin territory, so it might be a little bit slower out there, but that's come back a long way.
Come back a long way, absolutely. Okay, David sticking to his backhand, just trying to take 3 feet off his last bowl.
It's a good tactic from David. I mean, when you're trying to build a consistent run, you really need to stick on the one side that is the easier side to play. And as we say that, he's drawn right up. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Damien have a little run at this. Not too much weight, but you can really demoralise an opponent.
Taking their shot bowl out.
If they've been having a tough time getting shot, and they do, you take it out, it can have an effect.
Yeah. There's no empathy with you blokes, is there?
No.
It's full on.
The locker room talk between the disability players is no different than anywhere else. In fact, it can be worse.
Absolutely. Good to hear.
So, just going behind. If he stays on deck, I would not be surprised to see Damien have it stayed up. So,
good shot there.
yeah, I
The
think
head from a different angle.
David will be trying to get another one in there just to repeat his last, and then I think you'll see if Damien's only one down, he'll have a bit of a run at that.
Another good line here, just running through a little heavy.
So I think 1 and a measure is the call. So he's going to come and have a look, probably just to confirm for himself the distance. But I would not be at all surprised to see Damien have a run at that with that back bowl sitting right on the ditch.
And just a reminder, the BPL Cup team registrations are now open. So get your team together from your club and enter at bowls.com.au/BPL Cup.
Yeah, I think I'll be getting in contact with Damien and Jimmy Reynolds after the game and see if I can get into a team with them so I don't have to do anything.
Armchair ride?
Yep.
Yep. You could do a lot worse than teaming up with those two. Okay, so he's had a look at the head. What's he going to do?
Well, he's lining up on his forehand, which is the hand you'd want to play if you're going to have a little run, dig at that bowl or kitty. Because then it runs away from his bowl on the ditch. There's no danger. It is coming down.
He's trying to get there.
Just a little bit short. Perfect line. So opportunity for David now to capitalise as much as he can on this and draw in a second. We saw the marker say it was a measure already, but you want to make sure of it.
Nice line again. Good effort here.
Yeah, very
Done
lucky.
it.
Very nice bowl.
Yep, just what he needed.
2 great bowls there from David. Exactly what he needed. I wonder if we'll see a change in the length now. He's got the mat.
He doesn't mind looking for a third shot.
Well, yeah, the marker said 1 and a measure before,
Yep.
so...
They're going to put a tape on it.
Okay, so 2 have been taken out. And the measure is for the 3rd.
The international technical officials here doing the measuring in this final.
We saw the laser measure out yesterday, and out it comes again today.
Yep. Gives a reading to 1/1000th of a millimetre.
And in case you're wondering, the reason why they put that little white, I've seen them use white sticks or white cones or a beer coaster, they put that there so that they can see there's no gap between the kitty and the mark. You don't have the green underneath, it's easier to see with the white. Point the laser at the dot in the middle and press the button.
Can't get away with much with the old laser.
No.
Measuring was one of my greatest skills.
I still measure occasionally, even being a parabola. I like to get down and do the measure just to help me stretch out, but I'll generally keep the measure a millimetre or 2 off the kitty. Don't want to bump it and move it and then have the opposition put it over where they get 4.
Yes, I've seen some interesting things happen with measures.
So that looks like that's a shot bowl. So that
3
looks
shots.
like a 3 shots to David, which is exactly what he needed.
Yeah, that'll be a confidence booster for him.
So
Well done.
3 shots. So 6-15 is the score. So
I know 15 seems to be the number where people get stuck.
Yeah, we've seen that the last couple of
Yeah.
days. Well, I'm surprised not to see a bigger change in length.
Good to see some Algester members coming in to cheer on Cohen Litfin in this afternoon's men's singles final, where he plays Aaron Sheriff.
Aaron Sheriff. This be his 13th win or 14th win in a row. He's such a prolific
Still amazing.
bowler. Yes.
Rated #1 bowler, male bowler in the world. And yesterday's runner-up in the women's final, Kelsey Cottrell, currently ranked #1 women's bowler in the world.
And what's good about these guys is Damien looks like he's coming down on a nice line on that narrower side. Playing it a few years ago when Aaron Sheriff was the bowls coordinator there, you'd go there for a game of social and he'd be the one to take the money off you and serve you a beer. And so they're certainly very approachable people.
They are. All the elite or the superstars of bowls that work at the clubs on the coast here, there's no egos amongst them. They're all terrific people. And you know, they don't mind playing against any Joe Blow from time to time as well.
Great bowl from Dave, great correction.
So, good to see David putting some pressure on Damien. 15-6, certainly not out of it.
No, and Damien doesn't want to get complacent. He's doesn't want to think, oh, I've got this easy.
No.
And he's too experienced for that. He'll know that it doesn't take long to turn around and have a run. And that's a perfectly weighted bowl.
Yep, just out. Well, David may switch to the backhand here. And
well, yeah, Jack High is the call. So I think he would go the backhand as well. His bowler's shot. You want to leave it there. Well, he's on the wider hand with a narrower line and some weight to shift that bowl.
Uh-oh. Oh, God, enough of it just. I thought he was going to slice it right across.
There.
Ready?
Well, if you're Damien now, you might actually look to... No, he's not going to look to change his hand. I thought he might look at that and think, well, I can probably draw that for 2 now.
He too might be looking for the bowl, shot bowl.
Oh, he's got just draw weight. I think he's pretty much mirrored his other one, maybe a bit longer.
Yeah.
But he's got 2 seconds, which is always a good thing.
Yeah, if I was David here, I'd be going forehand, trying to breast on Damien's back bowl.
Absolutely. And you might be behind by a few, but you don't want to panic. You just look for those opportunities where you can pick up an extra shot. He's gone very wide on that hand.
Yeah, he's turned his back on that, not happy with that one. Yeah, little fish are sweet, as they say.
Yes.
One's, well, we saw in the previous match this morning, one's got up and won the game.
Yeah, exactly. And that was after we said about how important it was that they get multiples.
Yes.
That's probably why we're not in the final.
Yeah, absolutely.
I wonder if we'll see a little bit more positive weight from Damien. Yes.
Tell you what, it's not far off Jack.
He's got this.
Oh, he's bounced off his own for shot down. Oh, maybe not.
Well, it's close. From our vantage point, I do favour his bowl being behind.
Yes.
And sitting up.
Well, that was an interesting end.
It's a very good bowl from Damien. Left it right to the last. Did have the backest bowl. That is close.
Yeah, it does appear to have the shot from that angle.
Be looking to see if it's 2, I think. Taking that one out.
One shot.
Yep. So that's another one to Damien. That's 16-6.
Well, he got off the dreaded 15.
He did. And if you're David, you're sitting there going, what do I have to do?
He's got all the answers at the moment, Damien Delgado.
Can't really hear any of those people watching from East Launceston. So it'll make some noise for David. He's not bowling badly. The noise that he needs to hear is to try and upset Damien, not himself.
Yes.
It's a picture of concentration. And what a brilliant opening bowl.
Yeah, it's so solid.
And people have to understand, being in a wheelchair, that the perspective of distance is completely different. And being in a wheelchair for a while, wheelchair people or wheelchair bowlers do get used to it. But when you do jump in a wheelchair for the first time, you'll quite often find that you might be 5 metres short, thinking that you've got a resting toucher.
Understandable.
Yeah, he's going to change over here to his forehand. He could draw around that bowl quite easily, being the wider hand, but I think he's looking to protect what he's got, not take any risks at all. Well, that could even possibly be in the count. And David looking to correct on his first. Nigel Roberts asking, do they play 2 metre tees? The answer is yes. Not that we see them very often during today. With the speed of the green, a tee to tee length would be very difficult with grouping.
Okay, Damien one down at the head. Got a terrific line on this one.
It's very good.
Going to go through the hole. Oh, good effort.
It's the problem, isn't it? You trip over your tongue watching the screen. This one looks to be on a better line, but I think he's just a tad too far.
Yeah. Good effort. Just the official having a look to see if that is in the count. It is, in fact, in the count. 2 shots.
Okay, so Damien will probably look to, yeah, he is. He's just going to look to sit inside those bowls. Just got to finish in front to take it off of him. Well, he doesn't need to do a resting toucher, but why
He's
not?
close to having one. Brilliant.
Fantastic bowl there.
Yeah, David hasn't played poorly.
No,
it's just
not at
Damien's had
all.
all the answers every time.
So should see just a draw. Just looking for the weight to come back to the bowl, but I think he might be a tad too wide to take Damien's bowl. So
Very good effort.
was a good effort. It's exactly what he needed to do, but that'll be one more to Damien.
17-6.
So he's on the doorstep, as we say.
Can he open the door? That is the question. We've seen plenty of people get to a lead like this, and those last 4 shots are often the hardest to get.
Look, Damien, I've been in a situation where I've been in front of Damien 15-5 once before, probably 4 years ago, and he chased me down.
Yeah.
Just the level of concentration and the understanding of where everything is in the head and what he needs to do is phenomenal. It's great to watch on screen, but it's even better to see in person.
Okay, going fairly long end here. The mat's probably up 3 metres. Jack on the tee. He's had success at this length and he's sticking to it.
And he is sticking with that narrower side to get rid of that unpredictable finish. The wind's dropped a little, so I'd expect that to continue to cross the head. Beautiful weight. So we'll see if David can jump on it now that he's been given opportunity. That is a good line for his bowl on that hand. Just missing the weight.
Yeah.
So it's the last thing you want to do is give Damien another opportunity.
He's so good at correction. Has more grass on this occasion, but maybe not enough.
Well, I think he's got the same weight. He did let it go a little bit wider, but as we said, that breeze has dropped off, and it's not a huge wind, so it's not affecting the bowls out on the widest part of the arc, but it does make a difference to the finish.
Yeah. As they're slowing.
This is a very good bowl from David. He just needs it to run.
Ooh.
Yeah, that. Okay, Damien's just trying to find out the position of those bowls in relation to Jack. So he knows his bowls are Jack high. He'll be visualising that arc of his bowl, thinking, "Oh, that might be my line," but
He should be able to get under that.
I think he'll be able to get under that. Just even if he's finishing where his last bowl did, which he's close to, except might even have the kitty here. No. Beautiful weight. Right on line.
Okay, important for David to get one in here.
Yeah. He's down on a good line again. Just needs to find that right combination.
I like this one. I reckon this is shot.
He's in underneath, and oh, look at that. Was that a glance off that bowl, or did he run over a bug?
It did move a little, didn't it? I always favour the Jack high here.
Yes.
ITO says it's a measure. Damien comes down to have a look.
Yeah, he will come down and have a look. That'll make a difference to his shot selection. Being on the doorstep, he could come down underneath David's bowl, pick up the kitty, shut that door. David does have one left as well.
Absolutely. There's a little trail there for 4. Holding match.
He's certainly looking at it.
certainly worth a go. It's always good to take an opportunity.
Well, I've always been taught when you're playing in singles, if you can see a shot to end the game, take it.
So you mightn't get another one.
Exactly right. Although I don't think that's the case this time round, but
yeah, the opportunity is there.
The opportunity's there, so might as well have a go. Yeah. Back yourself.
Won't play silly way. You just be trying to draw and drag it back just to
1 or 2 feet. That's all he really needs. Well, I like the line to do the job. It's just not coming back for him.
Okay, opportunity here.
Okay, David really needs to get in there now. I think if he's had 3 on that hand, so he's probably more comfortable to stay there. Yes, this is a very good line for his bowl on that hand.
Weight looks to be good too.
Yeah, he's right on it with this one. It's a very good correction. That one should take, that should be it. That should be shot, and then they'll measure for the second, I think. Yeah, Damien's asking for a measure. So Damien's asking for the measure for all 3 of those bowls.
See the umpire putting chocks under that bowl that's standing up so that doesn't move whilst measurement is taking place.
Batteries are flat in the laser measure. Going for the string. Well, I probably would have measured Damien's first and then gone around, but now he's going to have to change the tape for that second shot. It looks like 1 to David. So, yeah, as I thought, it's going to have to go back to measure Damien's. Probably looked to be a little bit low on the bowl there, but we don't have the best angle. But it wouldn't have mattered if it was low. It was in.
1 shot to David Minns.
So again, we're back to the 10-shot difference, 7 to 17. And we are seeing a change in length. I think this is a good tactic for David. It might not work, but he needs to try something.
Absolutely, he needs to change it, and he's brought the mat a long way up the green.
Yeah, I'd say if he gets the kitty on the tee, he'd be around 23 metres.
And that's exactly where it's heading.
So we'd be looking at a 23, 24 metre end, which are not always easy on a fast green, so
yeah, the arc of your bowl changes depending on the length of the end.
yeah, and look, you can have the most perfect running surface in the world, but sometimes that will change your aiming line, the arc, and how wide you are.
Yeah, good opener there.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah, if you're going to change the length of end, it's important to get one on there first up.
That's exactly right. I have been guilty myself of doing exactly like David did and then put one in the ditch.
Yep, nothing better than choosing a completely different length and then dropping a 3.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
As you can see, Damien dropping about 3-4 feet short on that one, so advantage to David. He's going to try and draw around it.
Looks to be a pretty good line.
Yeah, trusted his
Weight's
bowl.
good.
Trusted his bowl very well there.
Yep. Perfect weight. But Damien, we know how well he corrects.
Well, I wouldn't expect to see this one short. Well,
Yes, however.
well, the weight was probably there. He's just pinched his line, but it gives us something to tease him about later.
Now, will David change hands or try and get in Damien's way?
I think he's got to change hands for himself. He's not going to. He's going to back himself to get around them. His last bowl was shot at Jack High. It's always a risk that you'll push long trying to get around a bowl, so I think he's succeeded in staying there. So
May well be 3.
I probably would have come on Damo's hand, taken his shot away from him.
Yes, likewise. Just running through a little heavy. So this length change has worked thus far for David Mins.
Yeah, I'd like to see those just up on the bank taking a drink, but I'd like to see David coming down on the forehand. I don't have any hand signals to tell him, but he's certainly experienced enough to see the head for himself and make that decision.
Yeah, certainly. You know, even if you're just short, you're in Damien's eye, you're in his way.
Exactly, and he's missed it so far. So he's
Sticking the backhand.
He's sticking with his backhand.
Tighter line.
He knows he can get around those bowls. He really needs to stop on his own this time, or he's going to go through, or he's going to do that, which is really what you didn't want to do.
And Damien still has the open.
Now Damien's asking
backhand.
whether he's got shot now, because that one did roll in. 2 to David in a measure, the call. I'll seriously have something to tease Damien about if he misses this one as well.
This looks to be very good grass.
It is a perfect
Very
grass.
good weight. And will be the shot.
So his reply to me is in your face, Andrew. That's why I'm here.
Yeah, I do think David missed an opportunity there.
Yeah, I think so. I think coming down on the forehand, he had the opportunity to just take that shot away from Damien.
One more to Damien Delgado. He moves closer to the finish line, 18-7. Will he go back to his longer length?
I think we will see that change. He wasn't happy with himself 1 from 4 after the amount of threes that he had at the start of the game.
Yeah.
He's had 1, 2 threes, 3 threes.
Yep, 3 threes.
And they were all on this sort of 3/4 length. So
yes, he got to 10 in 4 ends, or after winning 4 ends. Yep, going fairly long.
yeah, that'll reach the tee or close to it. Okay, so Damien Delgado from Tweed Heads coming up. And yes, we know Tweed Heads is in New South Wales, but it's part of the Gold Coast Tweed Bowling District. So under the registrations for Bowls Australia, it comes in under Queensland.
Just like a lot of rugby league towns.
That's exactly right. And this is a great opening bowl from Damien.
Yep, absolute ripper first up. Pressure immediately on David Menz to reply. Well, he's going to see this match slipping away.
So a very good reply here. It's all down to his weight now. If he can hold up a bit longer, it's not going to.
Good effort, 2 feet. Damien will just be trying to repeat his first bowl.
Yeah, either that or just hide the kitty, finish on the line, just take the kitty out of David's eye. It's hanging out there. This one's didn't really turn for him, so he did finish behind. David, now this looks to be a better weighted bowl for the kitty. No, he's just repeated his first bowl.
Yep.
So opportunity here now for Damien. Shift to the kitty, puts huge pressure on David.
Broadbeach Bowls Club bathed in sunshine once again.
Perfect day for bowls.
Just going to go under David's bowls.
Well, I know David does have last bowl on this end, but
time has come to start to try and move that bowl.
He's got 2 seconds, so a movement of Damien's bowl is a benefit to him. There is a little danger, though, if he does move Damien's bowl, which he's missed, but he does give himself one behind, which is great.
That was a really good weight to play, that shot.
Because now, I mean, if he did shift Damien's bowl, then Damien would have an opportunity to play a bowl and sit game. But we'll see what he does here. Probably just looking to draw just behind. Well, I'd say it's a little bit narrow there. Looking to sit inside of David's bowls.
Wow.
He's done it perfectly.
Very good.
So sitting for 2 shots there. I think David has to come down on his forehand. It's just not big weight. Confident, maybe 2-3 feet. Take the opportunity to get a 2. All right, it's coming big.
He's
missed,
going to
slide away, yeah. That.
Okay, right on the springboard now, Damien. 2 shots makes it to 20 for Damien Delgado, 7 to David Menz.
I'm surprised by that shot from David. I think it would have been a better opportunity for him to come the other hand. He had the Bacchus bowl on the line.
Well, this may well be the final end if Damien can win it.
If Damien puts this kitty on the tee, then you'd have to favour him. He's not only been more consistent at this length, but he's been more consistent on the drawing hand, which will be on the left side of the screen. I think David will stick to the right side of the screen, being the narrower drawing hand. Makes it a little bit easier. So yes, Damien lining up. Even with that breeze affecting the finish, being a little bit wider. He's played it so well all day.
This looks to be no different.
Well,
Just a little
has
heavy.
gone through a little bit, but and yet David is staying to the narrower side. Which only makes sense. He did pick up a couple coming down that way last time, or a few ends ago now, but there you go, very good bowl. It's exactly what he needed. Confidence builder there. As we know, the last one is sometimes the hardest to get.
Yes, that's for sure. Change of hands here.
I don't think there's any pressure on Damien. I don't think he's got a saxophone that needs repairing, so...
No.
It's just going to roll in behind David, but it's in a very good spot.
Very good bowl. It's just been a little too consistent for David today.
Yeah, I think that's the difference. The consistency of Damien's draw. But to be fair, he's set himself up to only have to draw.
Mm-hmm.
David has had to choose the weighted shots more often than Damien. Damien now switching to his forehand, or staying on there I should say, being a lefty.
A bit tighter line here.
Yeah, it's
Going to come under.
Missed the line there. And look, in all honesty, I don't think that's going to bother Damien if he does drop 1, 2 or 3 here. He's not going to let it get to him. He'll try to win it with his last bowl for sure, but if he doesn't, he'll just forget it and reset for the next end. It's another really nice bowl from David comes in.
Yes, This is what we need to see more of earlier in the match. That's a couple of beautiful draw bowls from David Menz.
Very nice. Single bowl target.
Owen Hansen saying, keep going, Menzie, you're doing our club and state proud. He certainly is. East Launceston Bowling Club and the state of Tasmania.
He's having a go.
He's just come up against a very hot Damien Delgado today.
Yeah, just going, missing high.
Well, opportunity here to draw again for 3 or 4.
And if he misses and picks up a 2 or 3, it can be demoralising missing that free shot. Been in that situation where you really need the 4th shot and you miss it.
It's so important that the really good players just convert.
Yes, but no, he hasn't missed. He's right on song.
It's exactly what he's done. Great end of bowls, David Menz.
He's looking at the head going, why can't I do that all day?
Exactly what he's thinking.
So let me take these 3 out and let me measure for 6.
I haven't seen anyone get a 6 in the singles yet.
So
4 shots indeed.
Yep.
So
very well done, David. It's what you needed. That takes you to 11.
Damien's just got to reset now and just get back to the draw and just weight of numbers, and he should be able to pick up 1 in the next end or 2.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's exactly what he'll do. I'm not sure I agree with David's tactic here. He has lost the kitty, but the last time he did that, he lost the end. So
yeah, Damien will go back to his favourite 3/4 length.
Well, we saw when he picked up that last 3, he put the kitty in the same spot, or the mat in the same spot, and rolled it to the tee, and then Damien picked up that one shot on that end.
Yep, here he goes. Matt up a little and Jack almost on the tee. So back to Damien's favourite length here, so David needs to nail this first up.
He's certainly capable of doing so. I couldn't find a length with either one of these boys that they can't bowl to. So it takes that type of tactic out of the game. That one has come across quite a lot. There's not a lot of breeze holding them up on the narrow hand at the moment.
See a lot of concentration here. Damien just trying to nail the Jack.
He's pretty close.
And get this match over.
Yeah, when you don't want to sit on 20 for more than 2 or 3 ends, it starts to get to you mentally.
Yep, great opener, but didn't quite middle it, so still an opportunity here for David to draw the shot.
This just closes down that wide arcing draw. It's got to be more precise. Just pushing it a bit long, but it's certainly playable.
Yes, it's a good bowl, just a couple of feet over.
Well, Damo's got a few opportunities here. Sit in front, sit the bowl behind, or tuck the kitty away. I don't know about you, Adam, but I always find it as an advantage if you can hide that kitty from your opponent.
Yeah,
It tends to really upset their line and length.
absolutely.
And that's exactly what he's done there.
Return of the blocker.
Yep.
We've got the blocker at last.
And it's a very good one. It made him ask straight away. So now rather than seeing it, he's got to picture it in his head. So he's on that wider hand. He's given it the grass it needs.
Certainly got plenty of weight.
He's coming home nicely now. Needs to pull up, sit that bowl. He's
And
got
he's
it
done
on
it.
the right side.
Great bowl, David Minns.
Fantastic bowl.
Hope there was no beer spilt at East Launceston Bowling Club.
Well, or port, being that cold down there today.
Probably is port weather down there today.
Damo, it looks like, is coming down, trying to run that kitty off the
Tell you
bowl.
what, he's
and
not far
pretty
off.
Close.
Oh!
What a bowl.
Great effort.
He's pushed that straight into David's bowl and it's bounced forward, which is good for him because it's given him more room to draw now.
Yes.
And with that last bowl, he'll be drawing 4 game.
Okay.
David, I think, needs to try to move that bowl of Damo's and sit for 4.
Agree, absolutely.
Needs to force Damo into drawing for second shot rather than going for game.
Yes, he's playing a bit of weight here.
He's playing enough weight to shift it for a couple. He's very good at these shots.
He's done it. Oy, nearly done it. I bet there was some Bogues draft drop there as well.
Well, yes. Well, I know in Tassie it's a competition between Bogues and what's that other one? I don't know.
Cascade?
Yes, Cascade.
Yeah, Cascade down south and Bogues up north.
Yes.
Both delicious drops, I believe.
I've
I've been told.
I've had the opportunity to sample.
Okay, Damien Delgado trying to draw to win the match and the championship.
One down on the head, plenty of room to draw. I don't think you'll be seeing a weighted shot. I think he's been drawing beautifully all game. I think if he does have a bit of weight, it'll only be a foot to just reach David's bowl.
Out there nice and wide.
Well, that's a draw line, but the last couple he's put out that wide have gone straighter, like that one. So
a little weight, too much weight there.
Yeah. Yep, so conceded one.
I need a 12.
Well, as hard as it is to believe, that's the first time this game that David has put two ends together. So that's why it's so important sometimes when you get the mat, you've got to follow it up.
Yeah, interesting point, Andrew. It's quite amazing that he hasn't had a consecutive end win prior.
No, we've played 17 ends now, so...
Now he's being careful here not to throw the jack too far.
Yeah,
he's going to be close.
He's brought the mat back a couple of metres just to give himself that little bit of a buffer.
And he's stayed in by less than
No.
He's stayed out. He's straight in. No. Oh no, it only just fell in.
What's Damien going to do? He's having a look. Yeah, put it down there, he says. No mercy. Let's finish it up there, David. Our bags are up there.
As competitive as the para bowls is, I imagine the camaraderie's very good too.
Very high. I find it much higher than in the open tournaments. With the para bowls, everybody has difficulty, so sometimes we make fun of each other to lighten that atmosphere.
Yes.
But everybody knows that the difficulties that other people have, so you know,
a lot of respect.
A lot of respect, yes.
Now, David with a pretty good opener once again.
Yeah, he's
just running out of steam.
Sticking to that narrower side. Damien, I would suggest, will be going on that wider hand. He's not afraid of it, and he's been playing it very, very well. I think that was another missed opportunity there from David. If you're going to be short, at least finish on the line. Take the view of the kitty away. Damien can see that. It's a very big area that he's got to draw. So
he's just a little short again.
There. Well, his goal will be to just finish inside that bowl. So he's not far off from what his goal was trying to do.
David sticking to the backhand. He's played very few forehand shots coming back to the clubhouse.
Yeah, he's trusting his bowl to come back, which it does. So, and that's going to come in for shot. Damo is going to stick with the wider side. Just needs to make probably a 3 or 4 foot adjustment.
Certainly got out there wide.
He's out over the peg marker. We can see it coming back now.
How strong's the
not
wind?
Stopping.
Still coming in.
Well,
and
that's shot.
Okay. He's wanting to stick to his backhand, and he is.
Yeah. I'm not sure. I think I would have changed on that one.
So you're going to run into traffic here.
This guy's got his own around Damien's, but It's not going to do enough to get shot.
Nope.
So he's had 3 now, and Damien's got an opportunity to put a second one in there and really put the pressure on. Well, he's not quite as wide as his shot bowl. So he's going to finish up closer onto his own. Well,
It's a very good bowl. Leaves it. If David does want to drive and put Kitty in the ditch, there's plenty of gaps there.
very much so. And I would have been cheeky if I was Damo and said, when you've put your bowl down, mate, bring mine with you.
Oh, nice. And just a reminder for viewers, co-commentator here, Andrew Reid, played David in the sectional play and actually beat him.
Yes.
And now we've got David in the finals and Andrew at the commentary booth.
Yes, that was my prize for losing the quarterfinals to David. I get to sit in here and chat to you, so that was a bonus.
Okay, to stay in the match, go on the backhand draw.
He really needs this to pull in close. He's coming back very nicely now. I think he's got this. Just needs to pull up. No, he's crashed.
Oh, he's not around it. So
He would have been right on track for that.
congratulations, Damien Delgado. 2024 Australian Open Multi-Disability Open Pairs Singles Champion.
Open pair singles.
Sorry, Open Men's Singles.
He had me looking
Getting
at the screen.
excited?
Yes. Well, he can have both. He's done that well. He could have played a pairs game by himself, actually, I think.
Then congratulations to both players. They both played well. Damien was just a little more consistent for David.
Yeah, look, again, we've been saying it all game. I don't think David's played that badly. It's the consistency from Damien there is just perhaps a step or a level above what David was, and that's just on the day.
Yes.
So,
Good to see James Reynolds on the green. Congratulating both players. James, of course, was part of the winning pairs team yesterday in the multi-disability.
and the co-world champion for the pairs.
Yes.
James and Damien last year in World Bowls.
Yeah, terrific to see.
So, coming out now, you can see Paul and Andrew Howie. So, on behalf of the Gold Coast Tweed media team for Bowls Australia, I'd like to thank you for joining us. The Australian Open supported by Experience Gold Coast and the Queensland Government through Tourism and Events Queensland. Bowls Australia Club Map, the resources hub for webinars, club health checks, support resources across various topics. And don't forget your BPL Cup team registrations are now open. bowls.com.au/BPL Cup. Get your team in now. Thanks for joining us today. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Thanks, Andrew, for 2 days commentary. It's been terrific.
It's been fantastic. A lot of fun.
Seen some wonderful bowls. For those that haven't seen any of the other matches, definitely get on the YouTube channel and look them up. There's some marvellous matches.
It was. And thanks, Robbie, for letting us out here having some fun and pointing the camera in the right direction for us.
And trainee Michael, well
Yes.
done.
Still got his L plates on.
So that's goodbye from me, and it's goodbye from him, and we'll see you next time.
Yes, thank you very much. Yeah. Is it Saturday and Sunday? Just Sunday? So the Gold Coast Tweed media team will be live streaming Sunday the finals of the Para Inclusion Pairs, which is at Helensvale on Sunday. The sectional round for that is on tomorrow, Saturday. So if you're in the Gold Coast, pop on down and have a bit of a look. And then Sunday you can go and annoy probably Brian Marshall and Robbie and say hello. Oh, Brian's not going to be there.
I know Phil Smith will be there, who's one of the instigators of the event and the major sponsor of the event. So I'm sure you'll see Phil there. He's a great fella and a great supporter of Para Bowls.
I hope to be meeting him at the end in the finals.
Awesome.
Monday, Tuesday, Glasshouse Mountain.
Yep, juniors, juniors.
Junior pairs.
And then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Townsville for the Dun Cup.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Townsville for the
Dun Cup.
Dun Cup. By golly, you can always get around.
Got a big week.
A long drive for you.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for joining us. Stay safe. Have a great weekend.
See you later, everyone.